last game of the season in order to make the playoffs. It's like one of these things where, and you could see it with, in various sports, franchises that are trying to plan for the future while staying very strong in the present, very difficult to do, right? So Devontae Adams, we can let him go, and we're going to draft these young kids in the second round, and they'll be up to speed by the time we need them to be and everything. And, that's basically seemed to me to be the thought process. And Key, we're going to find out whether they were right or wrong, right? It comes down to if they were right, if the Packers' calculation was right, it was by the skin of their teeth, right? Because they're going to have to do it on the last day.
Yeah, but this is probably better for them anyway. And I've said this since the start. They had home field advantage 2 years in a row, and they went home.
Yeah.
Now they get a chance to be on the road. This could change.
Toughen them up, right? Mentally.
It may mentally toughen them up, because when a team is hot rolling into the playoffs, that's not the team you really want to see. It's not like they're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers clunking toward no. They're on 4-0 here on a hot streak. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're on a hot streak, so they want to keep riding that momentum and that wave. You got to watch out. If they take care of Detroit Sunday night, you got to watch out.
Key, I'm with you, man. It's scary because Aaron Rodgers, even in this 4-game win streak that they have, right, he hasn't thrown for 250 yards in any of these 4 games. He's thrown under 200 twice, and he doesn't have a multi-touchdown game either, right? So their bread and butter has been their defense and the run game, and that defense held Minnesota to one of their season lows scoring. So whatever you want to say about Minnesota, they found a way to win games, but Green Bay smacked them. So if this team actually reaches an upside as it relates to Aaron Rodgers playing better than what he's played the last 4 games, combined with that defense, with that run game, that's what makes it scary.
They played like I drew it up. That's what it is.
Yeah. Not as many dropbacks, run the ball, play some defense, don't turn the ball over.
Little special teams and do that and
hidden yardage, as you said.
Yes.
We're presented by Progressive Insurance. Could you imagine, though, guys? You're Detroit. You had the kind of season offensively that you've had. You're the Bears. You got Justin Fields till he got hurt, but exciting and actually keeping you in games. And Minnesota looked really strong at one point. I never thought they were unbeatable, but they were winning a lot of games. And the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, bottom 6 QBR, no Devontae Adams. The young guys are dropping balls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and they might make the playoffs anyway. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, when you say he has owned the NFC North, oh my God!
If they make the playoffs to the 7th seed, who do they have? Who will they draw?
That depends on
7 plays 2, right?
Yeah, yes, but that depends on what happens with San Francisco and Philadelphia and Dallas.
So it would be one of those 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It would be one of the 3. Huh?
Could be the Vikings.
Or it could be the Vikings. That's right. If the Cowboys stay where they are, the Eagles.
Could you imagine?
That's what I'm saying. That's why
they just smack the Vikings and then they see them in the first round.
And then beat them again.
And,
if you go and you or Minnesota and you draw Green Bay, the first game of the year you barely got out of there with a W on young receivers dropping balls, and then they just waxed you a couple weeks ago.
It's bad news. It's bad news. Rick in Dayton, you're on with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Hey, J. Will, welcome to the best day of the week, buddy.
That's right, baby.
It's got to be a disappointment. I mean, like you said, they've owned that division for as long as I can remember, and Detroit actually has a shot at beating them.
Well,
the problem, though, with that Detroit, I get it, bite kneecaps off and do all of that. Dan Campbell played with me, good friend. Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator, good friend, played with me, the whole deal. It's at night. The scoreboard watching is real. And if those teams all of a sudden deflate Detroit by winning those games, they're going to look up and be like, okay, we're going to go out here and try to play. But at the end, it's like,
not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. When you're talking about that little extra adrenaline it takes to win.
If I got something to play for,
it's a little different.
It's a little bit different.
Yep. Margin of victory.
Just a little bit.
I do just want to go back to Rick because, he is right. Friday is the best day of the week, Max.
Saturday is clearly the best day of the week.
Forever, Friday is by far the best
How
day of the
could
week.
you compare it?
Because
A
you're
day you have to
already
get up-
into the weekend. Look at you. Look,
No,
you're
hold on,
relaxed.
hold on.
You're thinking about what you're going to do.
No,
You're
I
going
had to get
Saturday
up early
football.
on not enough sleep. Come to
Wah,
work the whole thing.
wah, wah.
Tomorrow, it's not Sunday. You don't have work the next day. You didn't have
That's
to get up
right.
early.
That's
Saturday
right.
is the best day of the week. It's not even close.
Friday is the best day of the week.
Thank you,
Everyone's
Keith.
insane.
Thank
Everyone's
you.
lost their mind.
I've been trying to argue
I've
with
already
Max about this.
started thinking about Friday on Wednesday.
Thank
I ain't
you.
thinking about
You're
no dang
checked
on
out.
Saturday on Wednesday. I'm
checked
thinking
out.
about Friday on
Saturday
Wednesday.
was
This
always
man.
the
Wednesday.
best
That's why when
day.
you come to
This is like
Thursdays, you all trying to figure out how to get to Friday.
Yeah. See, Max. Thursday is the Friday, really.
What is it?
Thursday's like really like, oh, I'm done. Tomorrow's
Thursday's
Friday.
really Friday.
Yeah, because Friday.
So
I'm
what?
waking up,
So what
I'm
would
already
Saturday?
out.
So what
I'm
would
already
Friday be?
checked
Wait,
out.
if Thursday's Friday, what would Friday be?
Stop
What
it.
would Friday be?
There you go.
Because you
Not
want to
only
prove
that,
how good
not
Friday
only
is, you
that,
compare it to Saturday.
You're sitting around all day on Saturday doing nothing to wait to get to Saturday evening.
You know
what?
Yeah, because obviously young skill position players learning how to win, but this team has gotten better. And for Aaron Rodgers, it's about winning chips. Let's be honest about it.
It would be a failure. And by the way, as amazing as Aaron Rodgers has been, he really set a new standard for quarterback play. And like the league changed as a result. You have to stop throwing interceptions, but you also have to throw all these touchdowns. He's not Patrick Mahomes. Like, don't confuse him with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is 2.0. And Aaron Rodgers is not immune to what affects everyone apparently except for Patrick Mahomes. If you take away his best wideout, and I know Key, he still has Kelsey, and that's the primary chain mover, so it's the primary receiver. I get it. But everyone else, when you take away their top wideout, the performance goes down. And when you give them a top wideout, the performance goes up. So far, Mahomes is the only guy that doesn't apply to. He's the only guy who every single year is going to win his division, is going to make a playoff run. Rodgers, it was set a new standard. Mahomes has improved upon it. And what I'm seeing is that Rodgers is not quite Mahomes. That's what I see.
That's what you see.
That's what I see. Mahomes a little better.
Back to back. Well,
Did you see that this game is at 8:00 at night Eastern time? Which means that
Prime time.
Which means that Detroit has an opportunity to make the playoffs as well. They're going to be scoreboard watching and seeing what happens in the games before them. And the two teams that they need to lose are not going to lose. And therefore, Green Bay will just play a team that's going into it.
But with a lot of pride, though. Detroit's played with pride this year.
I don't think Detroit's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
I'm
one of those
telling
teams.
you,
I don't think
I've
Detroit's
been in
going to be a
that
team that's going to
situation.
scoreboard watch. So, Key, I'm just trying to tell you, the way Dan Campbell has had these guys locked in
matter.
this year.
Kneecaps.
Okay,
Chewing
I think
kneecaps.
it's different, man.
Matt,
All right,
I've
look,
been in that
Max, just answer your
situation.
question. That's why I do think it is correct what you said. I mean, you're talking about the back-to-back MVP. What did you say his QBR was the other day?
39.
Oh, and where does that rank in the league?
26.
So if they don't get to the playoffs, come on, man.
Yeah, it's on him. It's on him. I mean, the young receivers had to grow up faster than they did, but all right. Why the Packers have one pundit, though, ready to eat crow? That's coming up.
I'm not going to put the cart before the horse on this one. You know how I am. I need to see a little bit more.
I'll say it. I mean, the last several games, you just tell he's hitting his stride. I think there's a chance, too, with Evan Ingram in this game to have a big impact at the tight end position, and that is one of Trevor Lawrence's top actual targets. I think Trevor Lawrence has been one of the top 3 quarterbacks last, 6 games or so in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Level play.
I'm going to say he arrived. Guys, it's like there's some dudes, and Justin Herbert from the moment you saw him as a pro, like, oh, that's the dude, right? Deshaun Watson, you saw it in college, you saw it in the pros, and it was the same program, similar results. The dude is big. He's got an arm. He's got that little extra something like, Key, you were asking about Daniel Jones yesterday, and it's like, I think he's good. And, I'm stumping for Daniel Jones. It's my dude. I'm a Giants fan. But, there are some dudes in the league, branding aside, Key, where you just, it's a little different, man. Trevor Lawrence, to me, looks a little different.
Arrived.
Is it the hair?
Yeah, the hair, the 6'6" family man.
Family
All right.
Arrived.
Church
Yates.
going.
Okay.
Second
I hear
down.
what you said about arrived, though.
Jets at Dolphins.
Here's the question about this game,
Take it away,
guys.
Key.
Here's the question about this game. Will Tua's health be the only reason that the Dolphins might miss the playoffs, Key?
Absolutely. I mean, Tua has played good football at times this year for them. Although prior to his a third concussion injury, things started to kind of go south for them against the 49ers, the Chargers, the New England Patriots, obviously, but or Green Bay Packers. But here's what I would say. When you look at this football team, they were in playoff clinching mode a month or so ago. It did not happen, and they may not get to the playoffs after Sunday.
This is why Jay told you, careful, Key. Let's see how